Let's move on to main topic number 2. And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by, well, none other than Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne writes, a common complaint about 4K streaming is that it doesn't look as good as a 4K Blu-ray. Most streaming services stream 4K movies at about 15 to 25 megabits per second, but Sony is looking to change that with their new Bravia Core streaming service. They promise to stream movies at full 4K Blu-ray quality at up to 80 megabits per second. This is a game changer and could help lessen the blow of physical media going away one day. Now, excuse me while I go upgrade my internet speed package. All right, man. Thanks a lot for sending that in. And listen, if you've been around here for any period of time, around the John Campea show, you know we've had a lot of discussions in the last couple of years about the death of physical media. The death of physical media is not a theoretical nor a proposition. It is a reality. It's what's happening. Physical media is dying out. You know, Robert Meyer Burnett, who's a big physical media guy, has kind of talked about the actual facts and figures. It's really not up for debate. It's not, it's not up to opinion. It's not up to anything else. Physical media is going away. However, the one thing that physical media things, or one of the things that physical media lovers like Robert Meyer Burnett will often lament is the fact that, yes, everything is now available streaming. And yes, you can get 4K streaming, and you even can get HDR streaming. This is all true. But, as many will say, especially Robert, whenever this comes up, is this. Not all 4K is created equal. 4K on a Blu-ray disc has a much higher bit rate than the 4K we get over streaming. Part of that is because of necessity, because not a whole lot of people have super high bandwidth internet. However, it may now look like the good folks over at Sony have cracked the code. This comes to us regarding this new Bravia service they have that's connected with their televisions. This comes to us from The Verge, who writes, Sony's new line of Bravia XR television sets, this is the new Sony sets, will allow consumers with a built-in app that's built into the TV, this service, will allow customers to watch and stream movies at home of the highest quality available in the consumer market through its new Bravia Core platform. Bravia XR, again, that's the TV. Bravia Core is the service. Bravia XR is the TV. Bravia XR owners will be able to choose from a number of Sony picture titles and watch them using Sony's Pure Stream technology, which achieves near lossless Blu-ray disc quality, according to Sony. Pure Stream also allows for streaming of up to 80 megabits per second, which just is almost triple, in some cases more than triple, or quadruple, I should say, what you get on general 4K streaming. To compare, most streaming services recommend maintaining an internet speed of between 15 and 25 megabits per second. Now, there's a couple of little caveats here to that you have to keep in mind. Caveat number 1, you need to own a Sony TV to be able to do it. You need to own, as far as I understand, I've done a little bit of reading on it, but as far as I can understand right now, if you want this Bravia Core service, you need to have one of these Bravia TVs, one of these Bravia XR TVs, if I'm understanding it properly. So that's kind of little asterisk number 1. Asterisk number 2 is this is going to be a selection that is very limited. It is going to be certain Sony titles. So for instance, when you look at the videos promoting this new Bravia Core, one of the movies that they're showing off, and they show off the most, is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is, of course, is their movie. So there are a couple of big things. Caveat number 3, or asterisk number 3. Number 1 is you got to own one of these TVs. Number 2 is it's going to be a limited selection. I mean, I didn't get an exact number, but compared to Netflix or Disney Plus, it's going to be a limited selection. Caveat number 3, of course, is that you're going to need to have a home internet speed that is capable of taking advantage of this ridiculous bit rate. Like if you have kind of standard home internet like AT&T standard internet, I don't think that's going to cover 80 megabits per second. Now, I've got a home service through Spectrum. I get gigabit. I get 960 or something megabits per second. So 80 is no problem. I think for a lot of people, or most people who have high-speed internet, probably 80 is not really pushing it too awful much. I know there's going to be a bunch of people that is going to be a little bit prohibitive, but I think for a lot of other people like myself and many others who have, the high speed service, 80 megabit isn't that much of a stretch. And considering more and more Americans every year, I was looking at some studies on this on, which website I was looking at this on. It wasn't The Verge. What was it? Oh, I can't remember the name of the site now. At any rate, Engadget, that's where I was seeing it. Engadget had this report showing the very rapid, movement of people into higher speed internet stuff as more and more becomes available and becomes more affordable, at least on the lower ends. And so this could be the silver bullet, right? Again, the number one concern I usually hear from people who are very hardcore into their physical media is often the fact that it's not the same quality streaming as you get on physical media. If Sony can actually make this work, and from all signs that we're seeing, they are being able to make it work. Then this should conquer one of the big objections that a lot of people who are still holding on to their physical media from transferring over to streaming. Now, while quality has been maybe to me the biggest objection that I've heard regarding transferring yourself, weaning yourself off of physical media and moving over to streaming, there's still a second very, very big objection that unfortunately this Bravia Core service does not address, which is, hey, you know what? Once I buy that disc, I've got the disc. I've got it. They can't change the movie, and suddenly now I'm at their whims, or a streaming service may disappear. By the way, there are counter arguments to all of these things, but still, that is one of the big things that keeps a lot of people hooked onto that physical media bug. They like that tangible feeling. This is a camera lens, but let's pretend this is a disc. It's got that tangible feeling. I can hold it in my hands. It is mine. It's not really yours, but you can say it's mine, and it's there on my shelf whenever I want to go for it, right? So the Bravia Core won't address that, but if it can address this quality issue, then that's just going to accelerate. I mean, we're already seeing this breakneck speed of people ditching physical media and going to streaming. This will only accelerate it. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this Bravia Core thing? Yes, there are still a lot of asterisks that you got to take in mind here. A lot of caveats here. You got to have the TV. You got to have the proper streaming speed and all that kind of stuff. There is still a relative limited selection. But think about it. If this works and works well, it ain't going to be long before PlayStation has that built in. This Bravia Core technology, this whatever magic streaming thing, whatever the name of it was, is going to be built in. It's not going to be long before an Xbox One has this built in. It's not going to be long before more TVs, smart TVs, or Rokus, or Apple TVs, or the Chrome TVs. It's not going to be too much longer. If this works on the Sony thing, you're going to start to see it pop up on a lot of other devices as well. And I think that's just going to, accelerate this whole adoption of the streaming lifestyle. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Does this sound promising to you? Are you still like a no way, I'm a physical media ride or die guy? What are your thoughts on this? Jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys.